So this is kind of our more golden strategy that I'm just going to give away.
So the big question is, what are top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate, grow their teams and add more transactions year over year while so many struggle? To get the answers, we interview top real estate agents to learn their secrets to success. Listen, we believe every agent should make a minimum of $100,000 per year, and we're on a mission to make this happen. We've already helped over 100 agents achieve this with our coaching. So if you want to fast track your business growth, get to your first $100,000 in GCI or add another $100,000 in GCI using social strategies, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com, or you can just click the link in the description below. Also, just make sure to follow us, hit that subscribe button, and if you get any value from this at all, please tell a friend and leave us a review. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
So let's dive into video as well.
But let's quickly on the platform. So two things. We have worked, like I've had this conversation about real estate websites hundreds of times, and it never gets easier to have to say. People are like, well, why does Real Geeks generate? Why are you recommending Real Geeks over like KV Core or something else? I'm like, because I have fucking spent millions of dollars on this, and I know that one works better than the other. It never gets easier to explain because like, well, the pop-up form's the same, or like this is the same. I'm like, okay, well, I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars running ads to Real Geek sites and a bunch of other platforms, and I can tell you, if you spend, Real Geeks will generate you like $10 a lead, KV Core will generate you like $18 a lead, and some other platforms will generate you like $100 a lead, and it's that cut and dry.
That's a huge
at this point, we don't even.
difference.
We don't even work with other platforms anymore because it's such a fickle process that we only work with Real Geeks, Chime, Sierra Interactive, basically. KV Core will work in some markets, but it's a little bit slow. So like,
So you're telling me you don't even waste my KV Core time.
No, I don't. Well, here's a thought for you. This is just a very fickle thing, but in how do I phrase this in a nice way? Like in a lower sophistication market, KV Core works better because KV Core is slow, and people in suburbial, lower sophisticated markets, my English is terrible today, are a little more patient. But when you're dealing with people in New York City and Toronto and these like big city market, people are so impatient. If your website loads slow, what do? They hit the back button, click on the next link. So KV Core does work good in some markets, but it doesn't work as good as Real Geeks or Chime or Sierra Interactive. Those are kind of our three preferred platforms, because we know if we spend a certain amount, we're going to get a way better return on that investment. Even though you might have to go and pay $250 a month for Real Geeks, it's going to pay for itself, like hands down. And for anyone listening, if they want discounts for these, you can go in any YouTube video of mine, and I have discount links in the description.
I'll probably will pick you up on that.
The one that Eric doesn't have a discount link for, and this is going to be an inside joke, is Command, because he loves KW's Command platform so much. He really struggles to convey his love for his platform. Again, if for anyone that hasn't, go and watch some of his videos. Oh my God, it's a hoot. Like you are just saying, you're just like, there's nothing good about it. It's just a pile of shit.
Sorry, Keller Williams, because I used to be with them, and I was at family reunion last year, and I was like trying to be the marketer. I'm like, I'm going to learn Command, and I'm going to like help people with it, because all they were pushing was Command. Like it was the greatest piece of shit that was ever created. And the truth is, it is exactly that. It's a total piece of shit. And so it just doesn't work. And I don't know if they've made any improvements on it lately, but
they're trying to sell the dream, and you're like, it is just that. It's a dream. It's pipe dream. Yeah. So diving into video, because like you said, you focus on search and video, like your two things. Again, for anyone, it's like Google and YouTube, two biggest search platforms in the world, obviously owned both by Google. Or technically it's Alphabet, isn't it? Technically it's Alphabet is the holding company for Google. There you go, a little factoid that people didn't need to know. So what are your video frameworks? Because again, this is something that's interesting. This is literally, we love talking about this, especially at the moment. We were just talking off air, like this is something that is very, very, very prevalent for us. We've been doing the Facebook stuff for years now. We've, as far as we're concerned, we've mastered that process. We got it down. It's a fine art. It's easy for us. But now we're diving heavily into video, like heavily for both production and growing our team. So 2 different channels, 2 different things. So, but when it comes to selling homes through your framework, how does video help your clients sell more homes?
That's a great question. So there's a couple things I want to touch on here. One is seller leads, which everyone wants to talk about. And the second is how video relates to that. So, like, in my opinion, there's only 2 ways to build trust. I think I mentioned this, on the phone or over video. And so generally it's harder to get people on the phone than it is to get them to watch a video. You can also automate video really heavily. And so here's, before you were asking me, so I don't miss anything, about some strategies with Google Ads. So where we're finding the most success is focusing the advertising spend on search. Not buyers, but search, meaning people looking for homes for sale. Because what's the first thing someone does before they think of selling? They go look at what's available on the market. They don't see anything. They say, okay, I'm not going to sell, right? So what we do with our advertising is we focus on generating leads through search, people looking for homes, knowing that 25 to 50% of them are actually going to have something to sell, statistically speaking. Now, how do you generate sellers out of that? Well, you make specific videos that appeal to sellers. So this is kind of our more golden strategy that I'm just going to give away, is like, focus on generating leads through the search channels, but make videos that appeal to sellers. So I was working with a client yesterday in our high ticket program, and we're kind of ironing out his video strategy. And so he basically just had a listing that expired that was $1.8 million around Seattle. He took on that expired listing, did some renovations, some upgrades, and did some staging, which cost like $20,000 or something like that. I don't know the exact number, so I don't want to quote it, but not a lot. He then turned that house around and sold for $2.3 million. So he took an expired listing at $1.8 million and he flipped it for $2.3 million, not flipped it, but sold it for the client for $2.3 million. So he basically made them an additional $500,000 after their listing had expired. And so basically the story behind that is he made a video about it, and he kind of titled that video like how to double your property value. And I was like, no, you need to title that video like how our process generated an additional $500,000 for our client. And so if you phrase your video like that, like, what person that's considering selling in your market isn't going to watch that video? Like, these 3 things added $500,000 in value to this Seattle home, right? And so anyone looking to sell that you generate leads for is going to watch that video. And if you can show them that your team, with your proven process, like they have a staging company, right? Got $500,000 more for this home, who do you think they're going to call when they want to list their house?
Yeah. 100%.
So I think the strategy with video is to generate a volume of leads and then make video content that is going to build trust and resonate with your target audience. And for a lot of people these days, that's, sellers, and sellers bring buyers, and so on and so forth. But I hope that makes sense.
I think, right now, the 2 hottest topics of the moment are getting sellers and beating offers. Of everything we're doing, we're working with people, everything we discuss, the most common things that we are running into is, how do we get more listings? How do we find more sellers? And how, when we find a home we want for our buyers, how do we beat the other 27 offers? Right. And then
so that's another great video that we teach, is how to navigate multiple offers as a buyer and a seller. What does that look like? What happens when you get in a 27 offer situation? Well, let me tell you, right? Just showing your expertise, building trust with people. Like, they want to work with someone who can comfortably manage a 27 offer situation and make recommendations based on that.
100%.
So yeah, these are like, and this is why in our program I have something called the anti-nurture campaign, because most people are lazy and they say, hey, does anyone have a big long drip campaign? And they just apply this 2-year long drip campaign. And so a year and a half later, they're like, they don't even know what's going out to their clients. They don't know what's being said. And it's like this 2-year-old information. I'm like, no drip campaigns. Commit to making 1 video a week or 1 video every 2 weeks. That's your drip campaign. send that out to your database. It's timely, it's relevant. You're going to get more sales. It's going to resonate more with your audience.
And just from a technical standpoint, are you from the videos? Are you putting them in? Are you like embedding them into an email or text, or are you putting them on YouTube and just sending a link? How is like the actual execution of that done? So, and like also for the filming, are you just recommending literally just jump on your phone? If people want to make a video, how would you recommend that?
Yeah, so a couple of things. One is filming doesn't have to be hard unless you make it hard. Audio is more important than video quality. People are not going to listen to your crackly audio, but they'll listen to they'll watch a 720p video of you. And so make filming easy. Remove the barrier to entry to making a video. So the most important thing is to get a mic. So like you guys probably have this. I got like a Blue Yeti mic, USB. Plug it into the computer and use a decent webcam. Yeah, you probably got one too. There you go. I got the mini. So make the video process easy. Now, the second thing is once you've made the videos, just make sure they're valuable. Don't worry about a high production. Just make sure they're delivering the information correctly. Post them on YouTube because people trust YouTube. They already use YouTube. A lot of these videos we teach are not going to get huge volumes of views, but that's not the point. These videos I call conversion focused, trust building videos. You host them on YouTube and then you send a link to people in your text and email communication. Because when they see a link, www.youtube.com, they're likely to click it a lot more than a bit.ly or like some other shortened link. Like use the full link and use plain text email. Like if you guys follow Alex Hormozi and you get some of his emails, the modern way to email marketing is like, don't even capitalize your subject line. And then your email should be like, John, we recently sold this house. We recently got 500,000 more for this house. It was incredible. Check it out. And just link we recently got 5,000 more for this house. Regards, Eric. Like that's your email. Plain text, one link, one call to action, short, sweet. Get them onto YouTube. They're going to stay on YouTube. They trust YouTube. They're going to watch it. They're more likely to click a link on YouTube. So getting fancy and embedding things and using video with you could use like a little photo with a link. That's doable for sure. Like a thumbnail. What I'm a big fan of though is just straight up sending the link because you can text that, you can email that, and people trust it.
It's simplicity, right? Like you can take it, copy, put in a text and send it off, and it's going to get delivered by the service providers, whether using a CRM, an iPhone, or whatever the hell else you're using, right?
Yeah. Simple now. Well, the saying is simple scales, complex fails, right? And there was this big... It was like a movement, which makes sense when technology advanced, where you could do really nice infographics and stuff on emails. Everyone was doing it, making these really snazzy, lovely, beautiful looking emails. You get an email from, I don't know, L'Oreal or whatever, and it was, basically a billboard, really fancy artwork and all this crazy shit going on. And you're totally right. Then they just start going to spam. The deliverability goes down unless you've got good domain and all this other stuff. And it's complex, guys. Everyone listens, it's complex. Literally, you can send this, just like you said, it's super simple. This is exactly what we do. Or we have one link if we're sending out a link to someone, just the one link for them. It will be, like you said, hey, John, here's what everyone should do. This is the way that I kind of teach this. Go look back at an email or a message you wrote to your friend or your mom, your dad, whoever. Just go and look at how you text them, how you email them, right? And now start doing that to clients. You'll probably see your conversion rate go up from it because of the style that you're writing in. Like you said, subject lines, I don't capitalize them. I don't put like quick question, double capitalized Q. I'm not doing that. If I was going to message you, I'd probably title it something like, Eric, here's that stuff for you. All just like one sentence. That'd be my email. And then I'd put, Eric, there it is below. Cheers.
How many times did you get an email that had no body inside of it? And in the subject line, it was literally everything that needed to be said with a sign off with an attachment inside of it. I've literally just gotten like 5 emails back to back. And I'm like, ooh, interesting. Okay. They told me exactly what I needed to know in the subject. They gave me the link and they signed off. I love short emails like that because I will open them, I will read them, I will go through them, and I will not put them automatically in the trash as opposed to a 6-paragraph drunkalog. I'm not reading that.
Well, I think there's a good point about just human psychology here that I think everyone should really pay attention to. And I love the way you described it about, look back at an email you wrote your mom or your friend or whatever, because email's been around so long, everyone's so immune to it. Like, it's like we know what a marketing email looks and feels like on a subconscious level. And we don't want to open those. Everyone gets too many emails. Like, if I asked a crowd of 10,000 people who gets too many emails, everyone's hand would probably go up. So like your emails need to, like you said, don't even capitalize your subject line. Like, quick question, all lowercase, is like the highest open rates of any subject, because it sounds like your friend just said it to you and, oh, they just got a quick question. What is that? And so if you look at people who are doing this well, it's plain text, not HTML formatted emails, because those often go more to spam. And people, I've researched this a lot because we struggled with email deliverability for a bit. And now I use like email warm-up software and all this other stuff. But there was a study done, and they asked people, what type of email would you read? Like an HTML nicely formatted branded email, or just like a plain text shitty looking email? And most people said, oh yeah, nicely formatted email. But that's not true when you actually look at the data. Way more people will actually read the shitty, bad formatted email than the actual perfect one. And like you said, it goes to spam more too.
Yeah. From email deliverability, it's a pile of crap. And it has been for a while since they basically picked up on, if someone sends you 1,000 links in an email, it's probably not a good email to be opening, which is why too many links can also have problems. Oh, and by the way, you might not have known this. We've already helped over 100 agents cross over $100,000 and up in GCI per year with our predictable and scalable systems. So if you're interested in learning more about our courses and coaching to help you scale your business to 6 figures and beyond, head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com.